What up, mama? How you doing?
Hey, I love that entry music. It's just, who is that?
It wakes you up. I don't even, I don't even know. I went on Fiverr and was like, yo, make me intro video. Here's the pictures and the stuff we want to use. And they were like, okay, $55. And
Oh wow. Yeah, it's one of those kind of songs or the music you can really just kind of get lost in when you're working out.
yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those kind.
Mm-hmm. How's the weekend?
Weekend was good. It's still cold, but looking forward to getting out of here. Took family photos.
I saw you sent the pictures. We're
Yeah.
not going to put them on the internet just yet. We'll let you put them on the internet.
No, but that forced me to have to go buy some decent looking clothes and put on, get a little boots for the face.
Snow boots, coat, scarf, hat, earmuff.
I brought that, but everything else was workout stuff.
Okay.
Nothing else. Not even
did you go outside, take pictures in the snow?
No.
What the
hell? It's cold. No, they know me better than that. They said they want to do some nature. It better be spring or summer.
Go to Arboretum in Minnesota.
But in 16 degrees, those would not be cute pictures at all.
Nuts. What do you mean mug you're talking about?
And the wind is blowing. Oh my God.
It was windy here this weekend. It was dumb windy here this weekend. Like it was like, I don't know what's going on, but it was windy this morning when we got here at 5 for Strongheart class. But other than that, man, it's raining. It's raining here now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's been raining all day.
We got the snow and we got the wind yesterday. That wind.
You can keep it.
Could cut you like a ninja. Do you hear me?
You can keep the wind and the snow.
That's that.
Because at 16 degrees, yeah, you can keep that.
Yeah. That just, I don't know how these people live out here. And then you see jokers out here in shorts with a hoodie. What the heck? If you don't go put some clothes on,
right?
And protect yourself, but that's what they do out here.
Yeah, I ain't about that life.
And I'm not either at all. I told myself I was not born for this weather at all. Not at all.
I have melanin, we don't.
We need to be in the warmth, in the heat.
Give me some sun.
Absolutely. Even in the sun, it's still too cold.
Yeah. Here, let's see. I washed my car on Saturday, and of course, it's raining today.
You should have got mine. Dang.
But your car's in Maryland. It's not even in Delaware.
I know.
You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna treat you to a Walter car wash. I used to own a detail shop back in the day.
Oh, I need a Walter.
I'm gonna detail your car.
I've been planning to wax my car. I said
I'm gonna trademark and wax it for you. Internets, y'all see it. It's going to get done by my own hands.
Okay. All right. Yay.
Yep. You know what? In fact, what I'm going to do is while y'all are doing your book club session.
You're supposed to be grilling.
I'm a grill.
Okay. And you're going to wash my car.
And I do it at the same time, because I need to work on my tan. So I can be outside with no shirt on with my 5-inch, 5-inch runners.
Standing outside watching you. That's what's gonna happen. Club ladies. Everybody else in the neighborhood, they keep talking about you. Every time you come visit, it's like, oh, your son. Oh my goodness, he's so healthy.
Your neighbor John, right? Your neighbor John.
No, not John.
He is a healthy one, ain't it?
No, John said, wow, he's really a bodybuilder. Yeah. I said, yeah, he's a bodybuilder.
Yeah, that's called don't mess around, John. You get your ass beat. That's what that is.
He is a sweetheart. He really is. He's my $1 million lottery neighbor. You never know what you're gonna get when you move somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
He is awesome. He's been looking out for the house and doing a great job, and I so appreciate him.
Good. Well, he'll be back tomorrow, so
I will. Oh, Wednesday. Yeah.
Good. Well, anyway.
Okay.
We got a couple emails in, and folks got questions. So
really?
Questions.
Yay! So come with the questions and comments.
So before we get to the questions,
okay,
make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, do all that stuff because we got to increase the algorithm. We got to get to 500 subscribers. We're 387 or 85 as of right now. Let's keep it cranking. Let's get some more.
Yep.
But let's dig into this topic. First one, Coach. What do I do when I'm injured? How soon is it for me to return to working out?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good question. You know,
Question.
a lot of people just want to stop working out because, oh, I'm hurt. My leg first. Are you sore or are you injured?
Right.
That's first. And
Right.
second, are you hurt or are you injured? So it's levels to it, right? So the first thing, if you're just sore, whatever, keep working out. You'll be fine. You won't die. But if you're injured, that's an important one. It really depends on what the injury is.
Okay.
And most of the time, the answer is yes, you should still work out.
Oh, okay.
However, it's all about the modification of the workout to ensure that you don't aggravate the injury. So,
Yeah.
Walter, I dislocated my right pointer finger. Great. So obviously, we're not going to do anything grabbing or grasping a barbell or a dumbbell, but we can do cables. We can do legs forever. So all those things are still very possible. We're just not going to do things that are going to aggravate your what's going on currently, right?
Well, one of the things I really appreciate
Mhm.
you doing, and you don't find this with a lot of trainers, is that when we do injure ourselves, or we've hurt ourselves and whatnot, and we go to the doctor, um, and you take that extra step of, okay, is it okay for me to talk to your doctor so
Mm-hmm.
I can understand and learn exactly what the injury is, so we can work around it and work with you. So
Right.
I do appreciate that. I have never met a trainer who would do that.
Yeah,
I
well, that's
mean,
our
so it's
responsibility.
quality of your personal trainer.
We see you more frequently than you see your doctor.
Well, that's true.
And we are, in my opinion, we are as equally as important to your body as your doctor is. We may
Uh,
not be prescribing you medicine, but we're making sure you're moving,
yeah,
making sure
yeah,
your strength is increasing, we're making sure you're eating right. So, and we take your doctor's advice and put that in conjunction with what we do every single day. So I would say that we're equally as important, but that's
yeah.
just me,
I
you
think
know.
that's so good though. Bravo to you. Bravo to you.
Thank you. So it's the modification, all right. We got to make sure that if you're injured, if you're sore, one, tell your coach. Tell your coach what kind of pain it is. Is it shooting pain? Is it sharp pain? Is it dull? Is it lingering? How long has it been? All those things are all important to how we train and how we work around the injury. We got to make sure that we're not re-aggravating. So, like I said, if it's the left hand that's hurting or bothering you, then we're not going to do things that's going to require you to use your hands. If it's your leg that's bothering you and you're stiff, or it's your hips or whatever, we're going to adjust your training session to fit what does not aggravate your body. And that is the most important. Something else a lot of people don't know is that science shows us, NIH, CDC, New England Journal of Medicine, Harvard Medical Review, but they all show the same thing too. They all show that as long as you continue to stay active, it reduces your recovery time.
Hmm. That's good to know. What
So,
about something like um, one of those kind of injuries that is you can aggravate it, like a growing pull,
mhm.
right? It's like sometimes it just seems like when a person pulls their groin, it's something that they can feel happen whenever they get
So
active and doing things. So what can you do about stuff like that though?
a pulled muscle it sounds like something that's for everybody pulls something, but if it's not discolored,
Mm-hmm.
typically it ain't pulled, it ain't torn. It's just a little bit of strain, right? It
Mm,
means it's too much blood, and well, not too much. It's blood in there at one time, and it's rushing to the area to prevent further injury. And yes, it's going to be sore, but it does not mean that it is bad. Sometimes you gotta work through it. But again, if it's something that's debilitating and we're not able to maximize range of motion through an exercise or any series of exercises, then obviously we're going to modify to make sure that you don't injure it further, right?
okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
those sensors that we get from pain are like our warning labels, right? That's your body saying, "Whoa, slow down." But the soreness is like, "Okay, you did something." But remember, we talked about a couple episodes ago, is just because you're not sore doesn't mean you didn't have a good workout. It just means that you weren't sore this particular time.
Right. Right.
So the soreness is okay. Injury is typically a sharp pain, and yes, you can work out even if you are injured. We just got to change and adopt your workout, modify your workout to whatever your injury is.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Good. So how soon after? We kind of just covered that. Our next question. This is a fun one. Is
Okay.
it ever too late in life to work out? What do you think the answer is?
Heck no.
Heck
It's
no
never
is
too
the
late.
answer. It is
You
never
got
too late.
80-year-olds, 90-year-olds up there lifting weights and
That's right.
working out.
So just because you're a little bit older in age does not mean you should not work out. In fact, we have a special class here called Silver Strength, and it is Tuesday co-ed, Thursday is women only, and it's at 10:15 a.m. And all we do is train folks 65 and over. Right?
Well, maybe it's that maybe, and I know neither one of us are therapists or
Mhm.
psychologists or anything like that, but it's also a mental thing.
Absolutely.
You know, it really is.
Working out is a mental thing. It's delayed gratification.
It
It's
is
keeping you.
delayed gratification, but you also got to set expectations, right?
That's right.
So if you're older,
Hmm.
you have to set the right expectation. You're not going to be able to come in there and work out like you're 20.
That's a fact. It's also how your coach trained you. All those things are important, right? It's setting the right expectation for yourself, but then it's also um, managing the workout for yourself. A lot of people try to go in and either don't do enough or do too much. Finding
Mhm.
folks that are able to do the right amount of stuff is important. I have ladies come and want to pick up 3 pound dumbbells. Like, no, sis, 3 pounds ain't gonna get you what you're looking for. 5 pounds ain't typically gonna get you what you're looking for. Get them 10s, get them 15s, get them 20s. Don't be afraid. The coach that's there is not gonna let you get hurt. So it's okay to lift a little bit heavier weight, because um, you have to build up to some stuff and build up to what you got going on, um, and not just quit just because you're a little bit sore or it gets a little bit hard. Does that make sense?
That does make sense.
Yeah. So work through the pain, work through what is hard, but also don't be afraid to push your limits a little bit. Um, Studies have shown bluntly that it's not too old to work out. In fact, um, everywhere in the National Institute of Health, Department of Aging, AARP, Harvard Medical Review, and New England Journal of Medicine all say the same thing. It's never too late to work out, and age is not a barrier to physical fitness. In fact, they show the exact opposite. They show that when you work out, that you have a better outcome of life. You're typically happier. Obviously, you're going to be healthier. Your quality of life improves. So you're able to do more things independently by yourself, and you're a happier person. So all those things are all functions of working out as you get older.
So let's be very clear. So working out, meaning working out with a trainer
Hmm.
only.
No. Working out. I mean, you can work out without a trainer, right? You can
Just
hop
work
on a
out,
video and
period,
lift
in
weights and,
general.
and work out. It is more than just walking, though. Resistance training is a
Right.
huge part.
Okay,
Resistance
so we're talking,
training, yeah, we're talking
okay,
like whether it's bands, whether
right.
it's dumbbells, kettlebells, body weight exercises. It does not matter what the resistance is, but it does matter that you are doing some type of resistance training. And then we know that the American Heart Association recommends that we do 150 minutes of movement every single week. So we
Mhm.
know that that's an important facet of your working out or of your living. But 2 days strength training really increases your vitality and increases your quality of life, because
So,
nobody wants
okay.
to be in a bedpan talking about I wish I would have.
Yeah, true. But I think it's really interesting because one of the things that I see a lot of
Hmm.
is, because the people that are, I'm peeping over that crest to see the other side,
Right.
but that, you have all of these mall walkers
Hmm. Hmm.
type situation. So, I mean, that's really movement.
Yes, it is. That's part of the 150 minutes a week. That's exactly right. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. But in addition to that, you're saying that the strength training
Yes,
helps with a lot more.
absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely. I think that a lot of times people skip the strength training. Oh,
Hmm.
it's hard. I'm
Yeah.
going to be sore. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it's because, it's so convenient to be able to meet up with your friends and just go
Mhm.
walking around a circle, whether
Sure.
it's at a
Well,
track
meet your friends
or
at
in
the
a
gym
mall.
and come lift some weights. What a concept. You
But
know.
you have so let's get into this because like I said, I'm over the crest. But
Uh-huh.
I don't live in a 55 and older community.
Amen.
However, the community I do live in has families, but it's mainly a community full of retirees, right?
Right.
People who retired and bought a new home
Hmm.
and want to live by the water, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so you have all these activities.
Hmm.
You have a beautiful gym. You've seen the gym with all the
Yep.
stuff, but they have all these activities like cardio drumming.
Oh my
So it's
God.
like having
I
a
saw that. Yeah, I've seen it.
so
I've seen it.
like the cardio, you have the cardio drumming, you've got the um
What's the
what is
point
it,
of
the
having a
line
strong
dancing.
heart? What's the point of having a strong heart if you ain't got a strong body? Make that make sense.
I True. How can you have a strong heart with a weak body?
Easy.
You
Do a lot of
can't?
cardio and don't lift no weights.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true. Okay, yeah. So you can have a strong heart
Hmm.
and a weak body,
Yeah.
but the
Conversely,
ultimate is to have both a strong body as well as a strong heart.
that's right. So that kind of segues to a different type of conversation, right? What is better, strength training or cardio training? And the the coach in me says that they are both equally important. And then the caveat is, what is your goal? Is your goal just to lead a better life? Is your goal to lose fat? Is your goal to be stronger? All those things are all part of the equation. So,
Mm,
since the majority of Americans are overweight, we're going to use the burning fat model.
okay.
Um, Lifting weights 3 times a week is, you ready for this one?
Hmm.
The best option for burning fat in a control group.
Just 3 times a week?
In a control group.
Wait,
Lifting weights,
just three times a week?
in a
But you,
controlled
but
group.
you have us up in there as much as possible.
So they compared people who did 3 days a week strength training to
Okay.
people who did 3 days a week cardio training.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
10,000 people
Mm-hmm.
eating the same nutrition.
Okay.
And the people who lifted weight 3 days a week versus cardio 3 days a week burned more body fat and lost more weight.
Wow.
So the reason is really easy. The more muscle you have,
Mm-hmm.
the more fuel efficient your body is, and you burn more fat.
Yeah.
That's
But
that's
then
the
but
reason why.
that's somebody that's going in, if you're talking about your average Joe who's not looking for a personal trainer, that's
Mhm.
them going in and doing the
The
circuit.
total body circuit 3 times a week with moderate to heavy weights. So moderately intense. Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think
So
the
you
average
gotta build the
person is
muscle to
between
burn the body
5
fat.
and 7% more fat loss from strength training than cardio alone.
Just cardio alone.
And 3 to 5%, if I remember right, 3 to 5% more fat burned than cardio and strength training together.
Oh.
Yeah. I was
So that,
shocked.
but that's more than just the 5 or 10 minute warm up.
Yeah, we're talking solid 30 minutes. We're in a solid 45 minutes of weight training.
Okay.
So for everybody, for men, for women, for seniors, for young people, for everybody, strength training is your friend. Do not be afraid of lifting weights. You're not going to be huge. It's not going to happen. If it was that easy, every person in America would be jacked.
Okay.
Everybody would be fit.
Yeah.
But we know that that's not the case.
Right.
So don't be afraid to strength train. In fact, being more fit and more muscles on your body reduces the probability of you getting cancer, reduces the probability of you having heart disease, reduces the probability of so many other things that it's just worth it to be stronger, to be more fit, to have more muscles. Right? So I can't stress it enough.
So, okay, so what about youth, young
Mm-hmm.
people? I mean,
Oh, young people can lift weights too.
I know, but I've seen like 2 and 3 year olds lifting weights
Yes,
with their
as
dads.
long as it's appropriate and they're being obviously supervised and they're being helped properly. Absolutely.
Hmm. Okay.
The stronger you are as a baby, the stronger you are as an adult. In fact, in fact, I learned when I was being prenatal certified is that women who lift weights while they're pregnant produce healthier babies.
Oh, really?
How about that?
That's cool.
That's awesome.
That is
So
really
keep
awesome.
lifting weights every single day if you can, but at least 3 days a week you should be strength training. 2 days a week you should be strength training. You have to condition your mind and your body. And let's talk about the other effects too, right? So having a strength goal is different than having a body weight goal, right? Because the strength goal is something that's trackable, in my opinion, and you can create a program that is going to systematically increase your strength along the way. So let's say my end game was I want to bench press 500 pounds raw. Okay, what do I bench press right now? I bench press 450 right now. Okay,
Hmm.
so each week I'm going to add 2.5, 1.5 pounds to my bench press until I achieve my goal that my muscles and my body can sustain for 1 to 3 reps. Right.
Okay.
So I have my strength building days, rep days, different days built into the workout to just specifically work on the muscle groups that are used for those specific activities for bench press. So I'm gonna do bench press, I'm gonna do incline, decline, flies, dumbbells, tricep work, bicep work, all those groups of muscles that I'm using to increase my bench press. That's what I'm gonna do. Same thing for squats, leg extension, leg curls, leg press, and squats, sumo squats, close leg squats, wide, all the different ways to activate all the muscle fibers, supporting muscle groups to the major lift. And we build up to it until we get to whatever the day is going to go. So let's say on the 6th of April, the ladies in here are all going to be doing another powerlifting meet on April 6th. So I have built a plan for them to stick to for the past 12 weeks or 16 weeks. They've been on it and they've been building up to their 1 rep max so that when they get to the meet, boom, they're going to have a big lift, right? So that's kind of what we work towards.
So, do you work towards that with all of your clients, or just the ones?
Everybody depends on what people's goals are. Some people don't care about lifting heavy weight. Some people just want to lose weight. So
Yeah.
we set different types of goals. We'll set a 1.5 to 2 pounds a week weight loss goal, right?
Yeah.
We'll set the goal for having perfect nutrition for 3 days in a row, or for 7 days in a row. Different goals that really challenge people mentally, because if I can challenge you mentally and you can succeed in that, that's going to aid you in success in being successful in other facets of your life. So it's not just about health and fitness; it's about you understanding that everything that you want in life does not come tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
It requires some time and effort and energy and hard work and sweat and maybe even a little bit of pain to achieve your goals. But once you get there, it's like, yes, I made it. And then it's what's next. All right, then we set the next goal, the next bigger goal, the next goal, the next goal, until you have achieved the different things that you were hoping to achieve along the way.
You should have a goal wall.
I'm going to.
Okay. That's
I'm
cool.
going to. It's going
That's
to be
cool.
cool.
I mean,
And
it's cool that we get to see the pictures of people who are
mhm,
competing, and people who have made different strides
mhm,
in their physical fitness. But I
sure.
think it's also important that we see our goals up on the walls.
Absolutely. I agree.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna do, having the different goals, having the different ideas on how to push through, and that's kind of why we have the community in the app, is because people can talk to each other. Hey, I'm having difficulty here. What did you guys do? Because
Yeah.
Walter doesn't have all the answers. I might have some ideas, but it's different for different people. And having that connection and having a brain trust of other folks who are on the same journey really helps. So
Yeah.
that's why having the micro goals matter. So, all in all, it's good to train, um, not just your heart, not just your muscles. It's good to train both. It's good to train your jaw because you got to eat the right food. It's good to train your mind because what you put in your mouth, what you put in your body is also going to be what comes out, of your mind. So all of it, matters.
Yeah.
All of it's important. I like to take a total approach, a holistic approach, because if you only focus on one facet of your health, then somewhere else is going to be deficient,
Mm.
right? So
Yeah.
cardio, strength, and nutrition, those
Mm-hmm.
are the three pieces to this health and fitness journey. And if you neglect one of them, then it can really negatively impact the others. So let's say you train hard, you do your cardio, but you eat like crap, you diet like crap, your body's never going to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you just do your strength training, or you just do your cardio training and your strength training, but you don't, but for your cardio training and you eat right, and you don't do strength training, well, you're going to be just like a loose bag of skin. But if
Yeah.
you do strength training and no cardio, you're going to have zero stamina when it comes to the rest of your life. So all those things are all a part of your overall success. And if you can master those things for 90 days, 120 days, you'll be so far ahead of the rest of the world just through your sheer tenacity that nothing can stop you except for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my opinion, but who am I?
It's a good opinion. I agree. I totally agree. One of the things that I've learned as a wellness coach is, that there's a part of the whole process where you have to assess.
Mm-hmm.
I do like an assessment wheel where we're not just assessing uh, what their goals are in terms of health and fitness, but I also see when they're doing the assessment where they're deficient. And so a lot of times deficiency shows up just in sleep. And
Mm-hmm.
if they don't get the proper rest, then they can't do the other things.
Facts.
So for me, I work with them on their sleep
Mm-hmm.
challenges, and let's change some habits and change the way your routine is at night so that you can get the sleep that you need so that when you go to
Absolutely.
the gym, you're good to go. So it definitely all ties in, and
Yeah.
it's all important. Even something as simple as the type of bed you sleep on
Yep.
can impact you because the only reason I know that because it's impacting me like crazy here. Because at home I have a very firm bed, but here they have a very soft mattress.
So you get a blanket, put it on the floor, get a pillow, and sleep on the floor.
Any that it's not that hard. Now that I can't do. That's gonna have me up all night.
I'm a
But
floor, believe it or not, I'm a
you
floor
like
sleeper.
sleeping on
I
the
will sleep
floor?
on the floor
No.
because it's stiff and I can just go. You don't move, you don't roll over. You just because you can't because it's not squishy. You stay put.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, no. That's some wilderness man type of mess right there. Sleeping on the hard floor. No, I have no desire. None.
None.
I did that when I was much younger. Don't want to do that ever again. Sleeping over friends' houses that don't have extra bedrooms,
Mm-hmm.
but out partying all night. You need some place to sleep. Well, you're not gonna sleep with your girlfriend because she's, now. So you sleep on the floor. She's got a couch. It's a good thing, but
Right.
sometimes you didn't. So you just slept on the floor. Give me a pillow. Give me a blanket
Look, I could lean against the wall.
and roll. Well, watched you fall drift right
Oh
off
yeah.
to sleep at one point. And I shared with them. I said, you know what? He needs that.
Yep.
Think about how on top energy wise he is from the beginning of the
Mm-hmm.
retreat until that last day where we see you starting to crash. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's been up. We're up at 5, but he's up at 4 getting everything ready for 5,
Yep.
and he's staying up past 9. We're in bed by 9.
Yep.
So think about that. So they're like, yeah, that's the impact of lack of sleep, but a lot of energy is going to do to you. Your body eventually is going to crash. It
It's
doesn't
going to tell you. Your
how
body
much
going to say,
sleep
"Slow
your
down."
body's going to tell you. Yeah, yeah. So I thought that was really, really. They were like, look at him. Wow, his legs are crossed. He just
Sit right there.
hand
I
was like
told
this.
you.
I kid you not, and you were out.
Yep.
You called your name several times, but you
Don't, not me. Listen, I will fall asleep quick. Quick. There's
That's
no
good.
there's no I don't think that people recognize how important their sleep health is, man.
Yeah.
If you don't get 6 to 8 hours of sleep as an adult, and even as a kid, if you don't get your 8 to 10 hours as a kid, you shorten yourself. I wish I could get 6 to 8 hours every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Soon.
I watch my grandson, and he's, this kid is sleeping a good,
12
3
hours a day.
hours every, he has a bottle every 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
When he first came home, and he'd have that bottle, he'd go right back to sleep, and he's sleeping over
Absolutely.
3 hours. I'm like, man, it must be nice. And
Yeah.
when he sleep on you, he's not trying to wake up, but if you lay him down, he'll wake up immediately. It's something about the body heat and
That's
hearing the
right.
heartbeat.
That heartbeat, that body heat. Yep.
That little bro is out and not trying to move. Do you hear
Uh-huh.
me? And I'm like, man, what I could do to get some sleep like that again.
It ain't hard.
But I know exactly when my sleep pattern changed.
Uh-huh.
And that's after I had my son,
Right.
because it was like he was up a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and so you learn to sleep with your ears open. I don't know if you understand that phrase, but new moms
Mm-hmm.
understand that. You kind of sleep with your ears
I
open.
do that. At the retreat, that's what I did. Every time I heard y'all walking around, I had listen.
That's your fault. Having us drinking gallons of water. That's your
I
fault.
just
We had
that
to be up.
it's I'm a big brother, right? And when my parents were home, the responsibility of the house was on me. So I
Yeah.
had to be half awake, half asleep all the
Yeah.
time. You know,
Yeah.
and being a man of a house, that's what you are. You have to sleep. You ain't never fully asleep. Never fully asleep.
It's really interesting because I got this one of these things. I don't know if you
Aura
see it.
ring.
Yeah,
Aura ring.
the aura
Yeah.
ring, where you can see
Uh-huh.
your sleep patterns and
And
stuff,
your stress levels. Uh-huh.
and your stress levels. And it's funny, my stress level has been good. Now it's starting
Good.
to teeter up a little bit. Now I'm getting closer and closer to coming home. Um, but I think it's really, really interesting how, looking at my sleep patterns,
Uh-huh.
it'll tell me when I'm waking up, when I'm light sleep, when I'm heavy
Yep.
sleeping. But it also tells, when I get, like, I think a couple of times I only got like about 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and it was like, okay, you're sleep deficient.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get some sleep, and
Mm-hmm.
not you need to go to bed earlier, stay in bed longer, sleep a little longer. But it's really interesting because it does impact the way I feel in the mornings.
Right.
It really does.
I find that if I can get a midday nap for like 20 minutes, I'm good for the rest of the night. So like I get up at 3:45, do my 30 minutes in here by 4:45, 4:50, open the door, get everything set up for class, and I teach from 5 until 11ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll get on the treadmill again, do another 30 minutes of cardio, have my lunch, take a 20-minute nap. By 2 o'clock, I'm ready to go.
Well, they say as it pertains to sleep that if you need to take a nap, don't take
Mhm.
any longer than a 30-minute
Yeah.
nap, because if you take longer than a 30-minute
Then
nap,
you're asleep. No, then you went to sleep. That's
then
different.
you really went to sleep, and you're going to feel the results of it. You're going to
Yeah.
feel more tired, more groggy.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's good. So the power nap is a true thing.
I am a
You can
power
have a
nap
power nap. Take one.
user. I am a power nap user.
That's cool.
I can sit here. If I look at my schedule, should I get on schedule? Let me go ahead and put my eyes down for a second and be out. Be out.
Well, I used to, when I first started coming up to Middletown, I couldn't make it home. I would stop at that little rest stop,
Uh-huh.
and I would take a power nap before I would drive the rest of the way
Uh-huh.
back down to my home area, because that workout would get me. I would eat a little something, and then I would fall asleep, and I would
Earn.
allow myself to sleep until, for about 20, 30 minutes, and I would get up, and then I would start driving back and heading home. But then when I
Mhm.
got home after that shower,
It's a wrap.
it's a wrap. I get myself in my sauna bag, and I'm out.
Nice.
40 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that with all that you do, from work to training to family, you still have to take time every day to take care of yourself. Because I think that if you don't, then you're going to miss out on a tremendous part of your own life.
Yeah.
If it's one thing to be in a constant service of other folks, but if you don't really take the time for it's impossible for you to be successful at anything that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting. I think I saw an article or read an excerpt or saw something, a
Mm-hmm.
reel or something where they were showing in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
in the corporate aspects of Japan, they allow their employees to take these power naps.
Mm-hmm. In
And
Germany, some companies have split shifts. You
yeah,
work 4 hours, off 2 hours, work the other 4 hours.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all it all seems to be working
Mm-hmm.
for them, and I can't wait for the studies to come out to show the impact of that long term.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that you have a better society, a better workforce. Your people are more capable, and I'd be willing to bet that productivity is increased during the time that they're actually working. So, no different than working out and stuff like that. I think that if you can, but I just think that folks don't want to explore that type of thing, right? Like work from home. We know that people are more productive when they work from home because they work longer for less money, technically, right?
Hmm.
Because they want to get their work done, but they may take off 2 hours in the middle of the day to take a nap, get their hair done, get their nails done, get a haircut, whatever it is they got to do, but their work is still getting done. And then to, when you force folks to fit into the 8 hour work day, the 8 hour work schedule, it's just not like it was back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s when we had all the factory workers and all this stuff. This is not the same world. It's just not the
Yeah.
same world. So I would say that having those things are gonna be important, but they're gonna be suppressed without a doubt. I think it's gonna be suppressed.
Mhm.
I don't think
Yeah.
they're gonna release the big studies on stuff like that. But maybe we'll look at that, and who knows, we might be able to spearhead it and say, hey, we can prove it. Here's the data.
There you go. There you go. I do. I know we're getting close to time to take a break, but when we
Sure.
come back, let's talk about. I just have questions about the variations of exercise,
Sure.
and just get your thoughts about that.
Okay, well, let's do that. Let's take a break, and then we're back in 2 and 2. And welcome back. We're going to talk a little bit about the different types of cardio. I have a favorite:
What's your favorite?
walking on a treadmill. I
No,
lied.
that
Actually,
can't be.
I enjoy doing spinning,
Uh,
but
what?
boring spinning. I like boring spinning. Like I'll do bike rides through the mountains on my spin bike at home. So somebody put a GoPro on and then they just ride through the mountains and they show when they adjust the gears up and down. And that's what I do. Well, I like riding through different towns and cities around the world on my spin bike, at home. Because then you get a city tour, you hear people talking about the different things in the city, and then you get familiar with different parts of the world.
No, 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 no. I think I kind of if it comes to spinning,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit more partial to seeing a fine brother in front of me with some live music on and cheering me on.
I get it.
That's what I'm more partial
I
to.
get it. No, they have classes like obviously through Peloton
Yeah, yeah,
and Echelon and all the different biking and
yeah. It's like,
Kaiser and Nordic Track. They all have different classes like that. They even have one now. They have a connected step machine. So they have a stairmaster that's connected. You do a whole workout with a stairmaster now.
oh gosh, what can
And
you do?
and the
But
speed increases, decreases, resistance
oh
increases and
no,
decreases.
mm-mm,
All that while you all on a stairmaster.
no,
It's
mm-mm.
crazy.
That
So
is
yeah,
crazy.
it just depends on what it is. Um, so that's what I like the most. But there are different levels to doing workouts.
Right.
So aerobics classes, old school Richard Simmons, sweating to the 80s. He's the OG. Between him and Jane Fonda and Jazzercise, and those are the OGs of the fitness aerobics classes.
Yeah.
And they were effective for what they were for. And as we understood our bodies better and understood technology better, and motion and exercise science, I think that we have increased the efficacy of the different types of aerobics workouts by adding strength training factors to it. I think Les Mills does a good job. Zumba Strong is good. But I think that there's a tie for the best cardio exercise. I think it's a tie.
Okay. Between
Stairmaster and swimming.
I'll take swimming in a heartbeat. Before I'll take swimming. I will swim laps before I will.
I think those are the two most effective, in my opinion, because they get your heart rate up the fastest.
But is it necessary to get your heart rate up fast?
Well, it makes it easier to maintain your fat burning zone. So you get to that 140, 150 range, then you're in your fat burning zone, and that'll make your heart stronger, right? But steady state for that is the best way. So it's not just spike up, spike down, spike up, spike down like a traditional aerobics class. It's just a continuous. It's up and then
stays up.
Yeah, stays up. So like if you're on a spin bike and with medium resistance and maintain 85 to 90 revolutions per pedal per minute pace, you're going pretty good. If you're the Stairmaster, you're on level 3 or level 4 where you're climbing, 120, 130 steps per minute. You're going to get a pretty good burn. And of course, swimming depends on how tall you are, how many laps, how fast you can swim. So,
Oh my God. I mean, I couldn't even imagine being on a level 3 with that Stairmaster. I can't imagine.
It just builds up to it, right? You just build up.
I have to build up to it for sure. It'll probably take me a minute to do that, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody at a level 3.
All the time. You still know it. And a lot of the Stairmasters today are smart Stairmasters because they judge based on the amount of weight that you put down each step as you're going, and that'll help determine how fast it'll. So the lighter the person is, the faster it'll go. So it just depends on the situation on the person.
The situation and the
yeah.
Okay, so swimming. You say swimming is really good. What about swim aerobics?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It's fun, but I mean, is it really?
It's effective because you're getting water. The thing about swimming is you're getting resistance in the water, right? You're getting resistance from the water. You're getting resistance as and that's what makes swimming so effective is because everything is resistance. So I think the answer is yes, it's good.
Okay, all right. So what about gameplay?
Oh, like basketball, racquetball,
squash, yeah. Baseball.
Yeah, again, it's a steady state. That's an aerobic exercise that gets peaks and valleys, which is great. I think that having the spikes in the heart rate, spikes in the effort is good. I think that is an effective way to be stronger in your heart strength, be stronger in your mind strength, and of course, your cardiovascular abilities will be better too. So you breathe better, less likely to have lung illnesses like pneumonia, COVID, and stuff like that. The more active you are and the heavier you're breathing, the less likely you are to have those types of issues. So there are tons of other things. And a lot of times those types of activities are group activities, which increases your mental state anyway. By playing and by working out in a group, it's more fun.
Yeah, it is more fun.
And I think that's a lot of the reason why women enjoy group classes is because it's more social.
Relationships with
and it's
people,
more social. Yeah,
find good friends. Do that.
Give my headphones. Leave me alone.
But you built that at the gym.
Yeah,
with with everyone, especially if you come to the Free Fitness Saturday. There's so many people there, and then you always do your little extra stuff after the class.
We have fun. We have fun.
Yeah, have fun.
People enjoy it. This past Saturday, they did a marathon bench session, and it was it was 3 of them, and they had fun. It was good for them. It was hard. They were sweating and complaining, but they all right.
A marathon bench session?
Yeah. So everybody gets a go, and it goes from 1 to 20. So in the first set, everybody does 1 rep. Boop, boop. Easy. Second set, everybody does 2. 1, 2. Third set, 3. Third set, 4. Set 4. Fifth set, 5. All the way to 20.
Okay.
So by the time you get to 20, they've done 201 reps. But it's hard. It's fun.
That's hard. Where were they?
Weight. You choose a weight that's manageable but challenging. So for the first up to 5 or 7, easy. But then after you add the cumulative effect of doing those first sets and then having the more reps per set as you increase, then you're really cooking.
I don't know, Walter, but we're gonna try it out. We're gonna try it out.
We're gonna try that. We're gonna do it with squats. We're gonna do it with squats next week. They just don't know it yet.
Oh, they're gonna know it because they're gonna see the video. It's like, oh God, okay, we're gonna.
They'll be all right. They'll be fine. But again, you pick the right weight that's easier for folks to do, and be fine. Yeah.
So for I guess some young people or an individual who can't afford to get a gym membership, wants to get out there and do it. And they don't have to be young. They can be any age, really. And want to get out there and be active as much as possible.
Right.
It's important that they get some type of activity in. It could be
and resistance training. It's not just moving your body. Both. So you don't need equipment to do push-ups or sit-ups or lunges or pull-ups or whatever. You don't need any equipment. And those are things you can do at home to challenge your body, to add resistance, and then you can do your cardio by running, jogging, hiking, spinning, riding a bike, whatever it is. Run up and down hills, put a book bag on, fill it with bricks, and walk up and down your stairs. Any number of things you can do for your resistance training, for your workout. So not having equipment to me is just an excuse.
Okay.
Go outside, pick a big rock, move it across the street, and bring it back. I mean, it's not something that's that hard. I think if people find reasons to not work out.
Yeah. And so gardening and like mowing the lawn, all of that is
cardio.
Form of cardio. Yeah.
Walking the dog, walking around the neighborhood, picking up trash, recycling.
Difficult would benefit you much if you're walking your dog, because the dog's going to stop every so often.
Sure. Doesn't matter.
You're not running.
That's okay. You got to run. If you walk with the purpose, you'll be fine. Walk with a purpose. You should be walking when you're walking for exercise, in my opinion. You should be walking so if someone try to talk to you or piss you off because you can't breathe real good. That's how fast you should be walking. That's how fast you should be walking. Yeah.
So having a conversation while you're walking is not really beneficial. It's just you're having a conversation and you're just walking.
Bingo.
That's just movement.
That's my opinion. Okay. But who am I?
Well, it's movement. So it's movement is important if you just want to make sure that you can keep things limber and moving. Blood flowing. I mean, that's basically what movement's all about. It's just about blood flow. But we're talking about getting yourself to a point where you are not just getting your blood flowing, but you're strengthening yourself, your muscles, you're building muscle.
Because there are plenty of guys and athletes who made it to professional levels of sports that are lifting weights. Herschel Walker, Mike Tyson, these are guys who never lifted weights their whole life.
Yeah.
Push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, lunges, squats. That's it. And then running.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have weights to get a good workout.
Yeah.
You can just, do some push-ups, sit-ups, and crunches, and lunges.
What about if you're doing the workouts in your sleep?
What? I mean, there's nocturnal cardio, but I don't think we're talking about that kind of cardio. So I don't think you're doing workouts in your sleep, though.
I mean, I've had dreams where I'm out there trying to power lift.
You know what's interesting is studies show that your body has the same chemical response to dreams as when you're awake. So maybe
it's possible, huh?
Possible. But it's impossible.
I had never felt sore though.
Yeah, right. It's not being sore, and how do you know when you're gonna dream about lifting weights? How do you control
exactly?
I don't know that that's possible.
No,
when you're awake, you can control when you lift the weights. When you're sleeping, you can't control when you lift the weights. So there's that.
That's interesting. All right, so I think it's really cool if a person can get the strength training in, get the cardio in, and they can get the cardio in by
Having fun,
having fun, doing
line dancing, do a line dance class, have fun with it. Do it for 35 minutes, get a good little sweat going on, have fun. To the left one time. Bring it back now, y'all.
I mean, it's okay. What's the new one with the fan? Like what?
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah. Some of us don't have a lot of coordination. It's gonna take some time for us to get the full dance. So just bear with us.
I did a community service event 2 weekends ago, and they taught that dance.
Oh, did they?
Oh my God. It was funny.
Did you try to learn it?
No, I'm still a man. Men don't do that dance.
I've seen a lot of men out there doing
the dance. No, you don't.
Yes,
no, you don't. No, you
Cowboys, don't. I have seen. Yes, I have.
Yeah, you seen cowboys, them Brokeback Mountain cowboys. You ain't seen no cowboys around here. Think about with some sass. Pop, pop, pop. No.
Oh, Lord, Walter. There are men that like line dancing.
Listen, electric slide. Boogie, boogie, boogie. We can do electric slide. You can do it. It's electric. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Yeah, we can do electric slide, little cha-cha slide.
Everybody clap your hands.
We can do that. That's about it. That's
about it.
We ain't doing it. We ain't doing none of that stuff, No.
Okay. All right.
So, I have someone here who may be going to teach a line dance strength class. It's going to be good.
That'll be interesting.
Little 3-pound wrist weights and little 5-pound ankle weights to do during the line dances.
Well, what if we're used to holding 20 pounds? How's that going to?
You can't do that when you're doing a line dance, though.
But how's that going to benefit us?
Well, it's resistance on your arms, on your leg, on your ankles. So you get leg resistance and arm resistance while you're doing your line dances. It'll work. Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
If I can put it together, building it out, trying to see how we can get the different little line dances and stuff together. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess in my mind, I'm thinking, do they make like a 20-pound wrist weight? No. It's just like 3 or 5 pounds is probably the most.
That's all you need. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Trust me, that's all you need.
That's all you need? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Right. That'll be all you need.
All right.
That'll be good. That'll be fun and exciting.
For those who have rhythm. For those of us who have to count, and I'm not ashamed to say that, I have to count.
It's okay.
I will do it and put me on the very end of the line so I don't be hitting nobody.
If I can pull this off and if I get the person who I think would be a great instructor for it, it'll be dope.
Okay.
It'll be dope.
So, I believe you. You have us up there too.
Yeah, I'll have y'all doing it. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so to recap, y'all, here's the deal. Yes, you can work out when you're injured. You just got to modify the workout to accommodate for your injury. So even if you were in a cast, you can still work out. We'll just train upper body. Shoulder, we'll train lower body, etc., etc., etc. We can accommodate you so that you can work out even while you're injured. We also know that it's never too late to work out. You can be 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Don't matter. Work out. And the effects are seen almost immediately, right? You'll be stronger almost immediately. You'll be more cognitively effective even after just short time of working out. And you're never too young to work out. Your balance will come immediately, right? You're never too young to work out. You can be 5, 4, 3, as long as age appropriate and properly supervised. You can do strength training and work out. I mean, we look at the kids who are martial artists who are 3, 4, 5, 6 years old that are martial artists and black belts. So we know that you can do it. That's right. And as far as cardio goes, we know that all cardio is effective. Walter has his own favorite. Dale has her favorites. Everyone has their own favorites. The key is just to move your body. And the best workout is the one that you did today. And finally, all forms of the classes are fun, and they're fun.
Yeah,
But
they are
classes
fun.
alone ain't gonna get you fit. Classes alone ain't gonna get you strong. Classes alone are just that. They're just classes for fun, and then you still gotta lift weights afterwards, or before, or on a different day. But you still gotta lift weights.
Gotta do it.
Yep. And
All
then
right.
we're gonna watch Duke go ahead and bring home this national championship.
Who?
We're gonna watch Duke bring home this national championship.
Oh, the Duke men.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Duke is going to do that.
Yeah. First one without Coach K, so it'll be good.
Yeah. All right.
It'll be good. Who's the winning? Who's the winning women's?
I want South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they've got a they had a very challenging season, but now I think if they go against USC, University of Southern California, it's going to be a really good game. But I feel like South Carolina is going to come out ahead.
Okay, we'll see.
UCLA, I think is gonna break. They I don't. They're strong, but I don't think they'll make it all the way to the Final Four.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean beyond the Final Four.
Yeah, my Lakers are gonna bring home the gold again finally. So you know.
Yeah, I'm with the Lakers for sure.
I think it'd be the first. I think it'd be interesting storyline. I mean, LeBron and his son to win the gold. That's gonna be an interesting storyline. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But we'll see if the NBA is bought and paid for or not.
For sure. For sure.
Anyway, so we will see you here in studio on Thursday. We may do a special live workout online with you on Thursday, just because it's Thursday.
What?
Yeah, why not? We might post up. We're back in the studio.
Always
for the first time in a long time.
All right.
Well, I will talk to you soon.
All righty.
Have a safe trip, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.